Hey YouTube, how you doing? Today I'm going to be bringing you a video on how to do a little bit more of an advanced stream setup. So this is going to be an advanced stream setup tutorial that follows on from my last video that I did, which was a basic stream tutorial setup video, which basically taught you how to pull in different sources such as webcams, game captures, audio input captures from if you're streaming from console or anything like that, right? So this is going to be kind of how to work with overlays and chatbots and stream labels and stuff like that to bring out the best of your stream. Kind of something along the lines of taking your stream from something that looks like this to something that looks a little bit more like this, right? And it's not as hard as you might think. It's basically just pulling in more sources like we did last time, along with finding some overlays that fit your stream and stuff like that. So the first thing we're going to start talking about would be probably overlays, right? Overlays are one of the easiest and best ways to enhance the visual quality of your stream. So there's a few ways about going to get overlays. The first way is if you know how to do them yourself. I don't, but if you're somebody that's really good with Photoshop and other Adobe products and you can create your own, that's going to be the best, easiest, and cheapest way. If you're like me and most other people who don't know how to create your own overlays, there's a couple of different options for you. The first option is going to be through Streamlabs. Last year, Streamlabs introduced kind of their Prime service, which is $12 a month. And what this is if you sign up for this for $12 a month, you get access to all of their overlays. So for example, if you subscribe to the service, you could come down here and you could pick one of these packages like Polar Bear. So this is going to have basically a starting screen right here. This would be the starting screen. You could put a game highlight or something in here. And this is kind of what the whole package would include. They've got different webcam overlays. They've got bars up top that you can rearrange for subscribers and followers and stuff like that. They've even got an intermission screen. What's a screen down here? End screen, stream end screen. So you've got all that going on, and there's so many to choose from that it's a pretty good option. If you're new to streaming and you haven't figured out if this is something you want to do long term, this is definitely the best way to go about it. Pay the $12, find a stream overlay that you like, add it in, and then once you do that, you can kind of figure out what you like for your stream. If this is already something that you've decided you want to do long term, I have kind of a different recommendation for you. This is still a great option, but I actually recommend going to a different website to get your stuff, right? And this is what I use is Fiverr. There's a few different websites you can use. Fiverr is probably the easiest, maybe even the cheapest and most intuitive. So you go to Fiverr, and recently Fiverr actually specifically added a section for streamers and YouTubers. So if you come down here to Industries, Gaming, and then you can see down here Twitch, this pulls up a page of people who will design custom overlays, logos, panels, stuff like that for you. So you can pay somebody in here a nominal fee to create whatever you want, really. So for example, let's say I want a Twitch logo designed for me. I can go here, I could type in Twitch logo, and here's a bunch of people who will design logos for you. So for example, let's see, so this one's $30, right? And on the right hand side here, it's going to tell you what he will do for that $30. So his basic package is $30, and it's a simple drawing and coloring. He's going to provide one mascot with a PNG transparent background, which is important. That's what you want so that you can overlay it on different things like your stream and stuff. It tells you how long it's going to take him to deliver that to you and how many revisions you get. I highly recommend going with somebody that allows at least 3 revisions, if not unlimited. because if you have one revision, he's basically going to send you a product, you're going to look at it, and you can tell him one time what you want fixed. Whereas if you have unlimited revisions, he'll send a product to you, and you can tell him as many times as you want what changes you want made to the emblem. So let's say this was yours, um, and he created this for you. You could be like, no, I don't want the cat on my shoulder, take that off, that's one revision. And then he sends it back, and you're like, you know what, I thought about it a little bit more, and I don't like these colors. I'd rather have red and blue instead of orange and yellow. And that's another separate revision. And he'll do that unlimited amount of times until you're satisfied with the product, and then you approve it and pay for it, right? So this is a great option to do like a logo, and there's all different kinds of price points. You can find people doing this kind of stuff for anywhere from $5 to several $100s. But for the most part, anything in the $10, $30, $50 range is going to be pretty good quality, and it's not going to cost a lot of money, and they're going to do it for you, and they're going to do it until you're satisfied, right? So let's go back to an example of getting your logo made if you want one, right? So now let's go back to industries, gaming, and Twitch, and this is going to be where all of your overlays are. So here's another example of different price points. This guy's charging $605 for this, and you don't need to do that because there's so many people on here that do really quality products at a fairly cheap price. For example, this looks pretty good. It's $20. So what do you get for the $20? He's going to give you an animated face cam, static panels, which if you're wondering what a panel is, it's these things down here, right? I had mine custom made with a logo and then text, and then I can, edit these panels and put the text below that. So when he's referring to panels, that's what you're going to get, and you're going to get a separate screen. And then down here are examples of his work, so you can find out if this is even something that you want to do. So here's an example of his face cam. That's an animated face cam that he designed. Looks like this is maybe a starting screen, I'm guessing. And that looks really good, and that's, you're getting that for $20. And you can step up in packages, so you're going from 20 to 80. What does he provide for that 80? You're going from an animated face cam, a screen, and static panels to unlimited panels, so as many as you want of these. You're getting multiple screens, alerts, which, the alerts are things that pop up notifying the stream that there's been a new subscriber, new follower, something like that, right? You're getting the face cam, and he's even going to design you a mascot logo. So for that $80, you're actually getting a logo designed by him. He's going to use that logo in an intro screen, and then you're going to get panels, screens, alerts, face cams. You're going to get all that kind of stuff. And there's all different things that you can do here. And I found this in the long run to be cheaper, which is why I recommend doing it this route if you've already decided that this is going to be something that you want to do long term, is because you're paying $12 a month over here, or for maybe $30, $50, $60, something like that, you can get something custom made to you with your own logo, own design, and it's going to be something that you can use forever. So once you decide that this is something you want to do, or you want to do something with it over here, you're just going to add the overlays, right? So to do that, let's go back to the basic one over here. And he's going to send you these products with files on them. Or if you get them from here, you're just going to download these files, and they're going to be different source files that you can bring in. So for example, let's say you downloaded all your stuff from Fiverr, and now you're going to add a media source. And this media source is going to be from a local file on your computer, and you're going to find that file. All my stuff is saved in here. That's not it. Here we go. So you're going to bring in a starting screen. So you're going to bring in a So let's do this actually. Let's start from scratch, right? So you're going to add a new scene, and you're going to add that in, and now you're going to bring in from your new scene, you're going to bring in a source, and we're going to pull in a media source, and it's going to be from a local file because it's on your computer, and you're going to find where you saved your overlays to, and I'm going to pull in my stream starting soon, and there you go. I now have a stream starting page. And the reason it went off here is because it's typically about a 5, 6, 10, 15 second video that you're just going to loop on repeat. So you're going to hit loop. If you don't hit loop, it's just going to play the 6-second video and then stop. Everything we do here, we're going to want to loop it. And you can adjust the speed if you want all this stuff to move slower, which looks really choppy and weird, but you can do that. You could speed it up to make it go really, really fast and intense. I'm just going to leave it at 100, which is default. Have it looped, and there you go. You now have an animated starting screen. So now you're going to add in a new scene, and this is going to be your actual stuff. So now we're back to your regular stuff, right? And now we're going to pull in face cam overlays and stuff like that, and it's going to be the same process over and over. You're going to add a new source. It's going to be a new media source, and you're going to loop, and you're going to pull in whatever source you want. So for this example, I am looking for my webcam, and I've got a few of them. I got to figure out which one is which. Basic face cam. Basic face cam 2. So this is the one I want right here, right? All this is just an overlay that somebody created for me. And I got a couple different versions. This was the first version I had somebody make. But since I'm going to show you how to use stream labels later, I'm going to go ahead and change this to my new one because I wanted a little bit something a little bit more low key, something a little bit cleaner that displayed all the information in one small place. So this is it. You just brought that source in. Here's your webcam, and now you're going to size it appropriately. The first thing I'm going to do, however, is fix my webcam because this is not 1080p. You can see how this is a square. Make sure whatever resolution you're outputting at, for me it's 1080p, make sure that your webcam is set at 1080p also, and that's going to fix kind of the size and scale. So you're going to figure out roughly, you can do this kind of whichever way you want. You can size your webcam first and then size this. I recommend just kind of placing your webcam where you want it while this overlay is big, because while it's big you can see what's going on better, and size it in here how you want it. And that looks good. So now that that's done, you're going to combine these sources. You don't have to do this, but this is what I recommend, is combining these sources. So here's my webcam, and I'm going to hit Control and Media Source, which is going to combine those two sources. And now you're going to right click here, and you're going to group these into a folder. We'll name this webcam. So it's now in a webcam folder. Now what this does is when I click on webcam, I can move these together as one piece. So now that this is done, I can size this however I want it. So I'm going to size this to, let's say, maybe about here. And I can now move this wherever I want. I'm going to place it over here on the left-hand side. And there you go. I've now got an animated webcam. And there's other animated sources that you can pull in. As long as it's a video file and you can loop it, the options are endless. So for example, I had somebody create a social panel for me that's animated, and I didn't want it to fill up the whole screen all the time. So what I requested that he did was make me a social panel that lasts for 30 seconds. And for 10 of those seconds, the socials are there, and for 20, they are not. So what I mean by that is we'll add a new source, loop it, I'll find the file. I believe it's this right here, alert 30 seconds. and here are my socials. So it's looping for 30 seconds, so it's there for 10, and then it disappears for 20 so that it's not always on my stream. It just kind of pops up every now and again. So I can now move this wherever I want it as well, and I can size it and shape it however I want. I'm gonna wait for it to pop up again. I can actually force it to pop up again if I just do this. And now I can, put it up here somewhere. I can make it as big or as small as I want, and we'll just put it right there for now. So now I have an animated social panel that's going on. I have an animated overlay, and you can continue to add scenes down here. And we can add another scene, media source, loop, and I can bring in whatever I want. I've got a be right back screen. I've got an intermission screen. I've got a stream ending. We'll do intermission real quick just because I'll show you some things here. If you add an intermission screen like this, he animated all of this for me, so this is just going to keep looping. But now I can add other stuff to this. For example, I had him make me an image source, and it's just a frame. So now I have a green frame that I can put somewhere. And like what I did on my stream is I put this up here. I added a game capture. You're going to place this behind the image so that the image is on top. And now I can size this in here. And now during the intermission, somebody can see what I'm doing on screen smaller. And now I can add in something like, I can add another media source. And now I can bring in a larger webcam. So now would be a good time to bring in that other webcam that somebody made for me. And I can now blow this up. Put it somewhere here. Add a video capture device. Add a webcam. Put the webcam behind the media source. And now I can size this in. And there you go. That's a quick way to make an intermission screen. Now people can see me in the face cam, they can see my social panel, and they can see what I'm doing back here. So, people aren't sitting there wondering, is he waiting on a match? What is he doing? They can see a little bit of what's going on the screen. And you can size these however you want. You could even flip these around, make this smaller, and put it over here, and put the game cap up here. You can get creative and do really whatever you want. So now you have different scenes. You have good overlays. Now another thing you can do is add transitions. So to add a transition, what you're going to do is you're going to hit Edit Scene Transitions, right? And typically when you get a custom transition made for you, they are going to be stinger transitions. So we are going to add a stinger transition, and we're going to browse for the transition that somebody made for me. And it looks like it's right here. So I have now added a transition, and I'm just going to hit done here so you can see what it does. Before, when I hit these right here, it would just kind of switch scenes. Now it adds kind of a cut scene in the middle. And if the timing appears off on those, you can adjust the timing here. I think on my main one I have maybe 300 here, and that just makes it look a little bit more clean. And you now have a custom transition screen so that you can transition between scenes a little bit better. Alright, so you've added new scenes with different screens. You've pulled in animated sources for whatever you want, your socials, your webcam. Some people don't have this stuff down here. They have it down here in different panels. In fact, I might have an example of that. I know I had somebody make me one a while back. I'll see if I can find it. Might have gotten rid of them. Let me see. Well, this is a good example. This is my Christmas overlay. This isn't what I was looking for, but this will do the trick. I had somebody make me a Christmas overlay, and I can add in a header, and now you see all my socials up here, and this whole thing is animated. And I think he added a footer. Yep, this is what I'm looking for right here. So now you can pull in something like this that has last donation, last subscriber, it's animated, it's out of the way, and you can do stuff like that, right? We're going to remove that. So now that you have transitions, you have new scenes that you can transition between, you have all your animated stuff. Now let's talk about stream labels, right? So the first thing you're going to do, there's a couple different ways to do this, but the way I'm going to show you right now is kind of the best way to make sure everything works correctly. You're going to go to streamlabs.com. You're going to log in, and you're going to go down to widgets. And under widgets, there's something called stream labels. You're going to click that, and you're going to download this for whatever operating system that you have. You're going to download it, and once you download it, you're going to open the program, and this is essentially the stream labels program. And you're going to have, when it first pulls up, it's going to have you connect your Twitch account. You're going to connect it, put in your login credentials, and then it's going to have you put in an output directory. And you're going to put this wherever you want. I put it in my stream folder and just created a stream labels folder, but you can put it wherever you want. And once you do this, this is what's going to pop up. And the reason you put an output directory here is because under stream, you have all of these labels now. And there's two ways now to do this. The first way is to add a text GDI. Just pull in a text GDI source. This is just going to control your font. We'll leave that alone. And you're going to read from file. And once you read it from file, you're going to find that stream label folder that you just did. And this is where you can add in whatever you want. So you can pull in, let me find most recent, so we'll do follower. Well, here's subscriber. We'll do most recent subscriber. And it pulls that in. And now you can place this wherever you want. This is kind of the old way of doing it. You can still do it this way. This is fine. A lot of people even still prefer it this way because there's a couple of glitches every now and again with the other way I'm going to show you in a minute. But that's how you do that through a text GDI file. The other way, the best way, this is how I do it, is to add a new source, and down here at the bottom you're going to see stream label. You're going to add a stream label source, and now you have a drop-down box of all the different labels that you can add. And you can search them as well. So I want to do followers, and now I can find whatever I want to do. You can add a follow train, you can add session followers. I want to do most recent follower. You're going to leave this alone. You can, if you don't already have something like this made, you can add something here like most recent. And now that's going to add most recent in front of this, so it tells people what they're looking at. But if you've already got an overlay like this that indicates, you know, recent followers, then you can actually just leave this out and leave it like it was, right? And that's how I do mine. Now you can size it correctly. You can also use custom text extents, and you can size it that way just by kind of moving this around. And that's another way to size it. And you can wrap it. So what we're going to do here with the stream label is we're going to keep all of this default, and you can choose a background color and stuff like that if you want. We're just going to leave that alone for now. You can outline it, do different things like that, but we're going to leave everything default like it is, right? So we're going to put this in, and I now have my most recent follower, and I want it in this box right here. What I'm actually going to do, this is just kind of a tip I would say, You don't have to do this. You can try to size it from here, but what I would recommend is taking the webcam and blowing it up, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to see these boxes a little more clearly and size everything correctly. So now that this is blown up, we're going to put this in the recent follower area, and we're going to size it to where we want it. And I'll size it like that. Now something else you can do here is you can right click on the stream label and you can go to filters and you can do different filters with that text. So I want my stuff to scroll. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find scroll, hit that, and we're going to pick a speed that we want it to scroll at. Let's say maybe 20. That looks fast enough. And now that text is scrolling. Now, if you find that some of this is scrolling into each other, and you can't really separate the names out, another thing you can do here is actually add some spaces before this. So I'm going to add I'm going to add 3 spaces here, and now that'll space it out. You could even space it out more if you want. But now we have most recent followers. We have the stream label in here. That's going to update continuously as you get new followers. And it's sized correctly to the box where you wanted it. And now it's scrolling as well if you want to add some kind of scrolling to it. And you're just going to do that same thing 3 more times. You're going to pull in whatever other stream label you want. You're going to add the source. You're going to find whatever it is you want to add. Let's say it's an all-time top donation. You can add that in. And there you go. There's your all-time donations. I can put that over here. I can add this to scroll. Add a filter. Scroll. Do 20 again. And I can limit the width because that box is going to be way too big. If I don't limit the width, you can see here, and I'm not going to be able to size it correctly, so I'm going to limit the width and just kind of find where the width needs to be. 500 is too big. We'll do 400. Looks like maybe 350 will be solid. So there you go. And now you've got scrolling stream labels for those two. And this would actually be technically my top donation box right here. So I might even have to change the width on that, but you get the point. This would be recent donations, top donations, subscriber, follower. And you can do that with whatever kind of overlay you have, and you can actually add these stream labels now to your webcam. So once you drag these down to your webcam folder, everything is now connected kind of like it was before. And now you can resize this back down, and everything is going to move in proportion to each other and be sized perfectly. So now I can just place this back over here. Whoops, I need to put, there we go, webcam. Pull this back over here, and now you've got your stream labels, and you can just kind of review your own stream, see how big you want your webcam. You might decide that you need it bigger, smaller, to see everything correctly. And that's going to be it. So just to kind of recap what we've done so far, we've talked about how to find new overlays. We've talked about how to add new scenes, how to add transitions between those scenes, if that's something that you have, if that's something that you want to do. And we've talked about how to bring in animated sources like overlays, social panels, really whatever you want that's animated. And we've talked about how to add stream labels to your stream. That's a pretty good start on kind of an advanced stream tutorial as far as what to do with your stream overall visually. There's a couple other things we can talk about how to enhance your stream, such as chatbots and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and talk about the chatbot real quick. There's different chatbots that you can find on the internet. You can just search kind of Twitch or stream chatbot, and you're going to get a whole bunch of hits. The one that I use, because it's already integrated into Streamlabs, is Streamlabs CloudBot. And there's 2 ways that you can access it. The first way is through Streamlabs. You can come over here to CloudBot. Or what you can do is you can come over here and this will pull up your CloudBot for you. And now once you're in the screen, you want to go up here and make sure that the CloudBot is actually on. And now there's different things that you can do here. You can add in mod tools, which what that will do is if people are spamming emotes too much, you can actually mod that out. If there's restricted words like certain curse words or just derogatory terms that you don't want set in your stream chat, you can add this in and it will just give you a default blacklist, which is what I use. Or if there's specific words that you don't want used, you can add your own word or phrase here. So that will mod that out of your chat for you. There's caps protection. If you notice people are using caps too much, just kind of yelling in your chat, you can turn that off. I do have word protection. I might actually turn that off, but I've got that on for now. Modules are going to be different things that you can do here, like mini games and stuff like that. I prefer not to do that, but if that's something that you like, you can definitely do that. I do have chat alerts on, and what that's going to do is alert the chat over here anytime you get a follow or something like that. So if you turn that on and go to preferences, and you can turn on individually what's going to happen if somebody donates. You can turn this off if you don't want the chat notified of a new donation, but I just turned all these on, so anything that somebody does is it pops up in the chat and lets people know what's going on. And then you can even add custom messages, like let's say somebody follows. This is the default message that it sends, but you can actually add your own message like, hey username, thank you very much for following the stream. And you can kind of custom these messages to whatever you want to do with it. All of these I just kind of left on default. I might change these at some point, but you can turn all these on or off individually. And then you've got different commands that you can use. If you've ever noticed that somebody's typed in something into your chat like exclamation console, I have an automatic message that comes up that tells people what console I'm playing on. A popular one is uptime. And you know, my stream is offline, but if I had been online for say 35 minutes and I hit uptime, it would say this stream has been live for 35 minutes. And the way to do that is through commands. You can add a custom command here. For example, hello. If somebody types in the chat exclamation hello, you can put in your you can put in your response, and your response might be hello, how are you doing today? It's going to reply in chat, and everyone can do this. If you only want subscribers to be able to use this command, then you would just turn these off. I'll leave it on so everybody can do it. Confirm, and now if you go over here, exclamation hello, it's going to say hello, how are you doing today? So this is a really cool way of doing different commands for different things. You can see I've got uptime, exclamation game. It'll say my name Murfrags is playing whatever game. If people are wondering what headset I have, they can just type in headset and it tells them what headset I'm using. All that kind of stuff. If people are looking for my Twitter account, you know, they can type in Twitter and it comes up. You can even add links. So I've got like YouTube, and now these links come up and you can just click on these and it'll take them to it. So that's a really cool way of just adding another level of interactivity to your stream. Highly recommend turning on commands. For some reason it's not working because it didn't when I first set it up. Uncheck this box right here and then check it again, and that should reset it. Right? And then you've got timers. This is another cool thing that you can add. I'll show you kind of what I have here so I don't add a new one, but basically you just add a timer, you would name it whatever you want, and then you would change whatever you want to change about it. So I have a donation reminder here, and what this means, and then what you would do here is interval is just the value in minutes between when this pops up. So I have this to pop up in my chat every 90 minutes. And then line minimum, you can actually set this to 0 if you just want it to pop up every 90 minutes. But what I do is I have it set to 1. And you can set it to whatever you want. If you don't have a very active chat, which I typically do not, you can have this at 0, 1, 2, whatever. If you have a very interactive chat, you can set this to maybe 10, which means, what all this means is there needs to be 10 messages in the chat, 10 lines of chat, before this specific timer will activate. So I've got mine set at 1. And then I've got a donation reminder that comes up every 90 minutes, a follow reminder that comes up every 30 minutes, and then I even have a reminder for people who have Amazon Prime accounts. I tell them, every 60 minutes this pops up in the chat and explains to them that if they link their account to, twitch.amazon.com/prime, that they can actually subscribe to my channel, or any channel for that matter, for free. So these are different timers that you can add for your stream. You can add quotes. You can do all kinds of stuff here. If you have merch, you can add it. Well, this is actually loyalty store. This is something different. But you can add merch links in here. You can do polls. Let's say I wanted to add a poll, and let's say I want to ask the stream what game I should play next. Option 1 could be COD. And option 2 could be PUBG. And I can now add that here, start poll. And now you can see down here, a poll has been opened for which game should I play, and people can vote whatever they want. Say somebody wants to vote COD, and I now have a vote for Call of Duty. And you can do pretty much any poll here you want. You can even ask people questions and stuff like that, and kind of get their responses. I'm going to close that out. View active poll. Here we go, complete. Now I'm going to delete that out of here. But you can do polls, giveaways, all kinds of stuff like that. The cloud bot here for Streamlabs is a really easy way, especially if you're already streaming through Streamlabs OBS, to control your chat. So I highly recommend you set up the chat bot. And then I guess really the only other thing I wanted to show you is actually on Twitch itself. We talked about those panels that people could make for you if you were willing to pay for it, or you can make your own. The way to do that, the way to add those in is once those have been created, you go to your Twitch page, just your actual Twitch channel. And down here you have an option to edit panels. You hit edit panels. And let's say I want to add a new panel. You can actually add just regular text. I can put in, let's say, well, let's see what we have here. What's an easy one that I can do real quick? We'll do about me, right? So I can just say about me, and then I can add, my name is Chris. You could add in whatever you want, but I'm just trying to do this quick to show you what I'm talking about. Now you would hit submit and uncheck edit panels, and you can see about me, my name is Chris. But if you have these custom panels, you can actually edit this panel, and you can add an image instead. And now you're going to go find your panel, about me. You're going to add this in, submit, and now obviously this one's up here, but you can see it down here, about me. It's got your custom panel and your message underneath. And then the other thing you can do with panels is you can actually link it to something. So I'm going to remove this. For example, I have here YouTube, right? So I added an image, the YouTube emblem, and I added a description to be displayed below that. But what you can also do is add an image link, and you just put in the link to whatever it is that you're doing. In this case, it's YouTube. And once that's linked, not only does it say whatever you want to say underneath, but if you click on it, it will actually pull up whatever that link goes to. And you can do that for Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. You can even do it for like custom pages if you want. You can even see down here I have a subscription panel which shows like if you subscribe to my channel, what do you get? Like the different emotes and badges. And the way to add that in is you just come in here and you would just add an image. It doesn't have to be a panel. You can actually just add an image in here, which is what I did. And now people can see that down here, and you can add different images as well. So that's kind of how you update your panels here. And that's actually done through Twitch itself. That's not done on Streamlabs or anything like that. And that's pretty much it for the advanced tutorial. I hope this gives you guys some tips and tricks to use as far as, using the chatbots and stream labels, how to add different animations to your stream and stuff like that. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments down below and I'll get to them when I can. Or you can come ask me any questions you want on my stream. I stream pretty much 5-6 days a week, usually around 9 p.m. Eastern, and as long as I'm not in the middle of a match or anything, I'm happy to help you guys with any questions you have if you're having trouble setting up your stream, using Streamlabs OBS or anything like that. So I hope you guys found this video useful, and YouTube will catch you later.